You know what I realized? This is the gayest I've ever seen you.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah.
Yes, perhaps.
That's maybe why it stands out a little bit.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
I used to dress very like I was a dock worker.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I was season 2 of The Wire.
Yeah. Is that when they went to the docks?
Yeah, that's the ones at the dock.
Yeah.
That's the one no one really loved.
No, I know, but
then
everyone was like, they're taking chances.
And everyone was like, no, it's good. Sorry, I'm just shutting this off.
That's all right.
And everyone was like, no, it's actually good. You just don't get it. It's like, no, it's not good.
That's what they say about Kendrick Lamar.
Yeah.
and so many comics too, where they're like, no, he's out there. He's like a Kaufman-esque. That's what they say. You just don't get it.
Yeah, I like some of it. I don't know. I find as you get older, and this could be me, my opinions on music are not nearly as strong as they were.
Or like, who gives a fuck?
I don't care anymore.
Dude, I love when like you got Kendrick or Drake. I'm like, I don't know, they both seem cool.
I find that people that have a real opinion about that after a certain age, it's odd.
Yeah.
That's like a weird thing to go, I'm heavily invested in who wins this rap battle. I'm a 40-year-old white guy, but I really care.
I'm on this team.
I did when I was like 17. And it was like 50 Cent and Ja Rule or Nas and Jay-Z or Jadakiss and 50 Cent. It was fun. But then you grow up and you kind of can't care as much.
Do you ever just see some of these things because you've had like second, third cycles of like the same thing?
Yeah.
In politics or music or whatever. And you go,
right.
Oh, I know what you guys are doing. You guys are just drumming up like business for each other.
The whole world seems like that. Like you have the Blake Lively, Justin Baldoni thing. And you're like, isn't that kind of like Johnny Depp, Amber Heard?
Right.
And you're like, it's like a thing everybody's getting involved in.
We've all been assigned this. This
right.
is our new OJ.
And it's like, that's weird. Now they're talking about going into Iran. And you're like, didn't
For
we
what,
do
hiking?
that?
I've heard it's great hiking.
Yeah.
Is that what Trump's really all about, the national parks?
And they're talking about that, and you go, but didn't we do this?
Didn't we do that already?
Didn't we do this?
Yeah. That's how it is.
Like when they're doing like the peace thing with the Gaza and Israel, and you're like,
we did it. We had a
treaty?
handshake. They had a handshake.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't know. It feels like they've done this.
Yeah, it was a handshake. It was somebody in a suit and somebody in a fucking black and white fucking tablecloth. So the only thing
you can do, which people don't want to hear, the only thing you can really do is check out. And no one wants to hear that. Meaning like,
I love it.
You have to check. You actually, for your own sanity, have to check out a little bit and go, oh yeah, I'm not going to get invested in every fucking thing.
Where you been and where you going? This is Ari's travel show, yeah. We're gonna talk about travel today. It's You Be Trippin, yeah.
Welcome to You Be Trippin, everybody. It's a travel podcast. It's the only travel podcast that has both fats and thins in the same room together.
Wait a minute, that can't be true. It's the only travel podcast with fats and thins?
Yeah.
I mean, that seems by the way, what a claim. What a claim to make. I guarantee there's definitely a travel podcast with a fat chick and her gay friend, and they are really mad right now. By the way, it's the only, can we be honest about traveling for a minute, because this is going to make you very angry and upset. I'm going to tell you something, and I wonder how you're going to take it, because I'm not. Yeah, no. There's like 75 podcasts about fat people
while
traveling.
Fat is such a great way to self-describe.
The plus size park hoppers, the fat chicks at Disney World. I mean, you're not even in the top 10 of these, and you've platformed some fatties on this, and still, I think some of the dumbest people I know are the most well traveled.
Interesting. Let me think. Because I'm leaning towards agreeing. Yeah.
Some of the people that when they talk, they have such a superficial knowledge of something. They don't really, they really lean on this idea that they're well traveled, and they'll say things like, when I was in Kuala Lumpur, but they're never in any of these places long enough to actually know anything important from them.
Cultural. They're just cultural. Like, they serve this kind of food. Like,
they are doing this as a way to seem interesting without acquiring any knowledge. Not you, because you actually will plant in places and stay there and learn shit.
But I've met the people you're talking about.
Yeah, they just kind of they're blown around the world.
Yeah.
You know? And I feel like they're not. Is there something wrong?
No, I actually am surprised. I thought maybe there would be, but there's not.
Okay, good.
Yeah. Yeah, they go out there, they co-opt a word or a street name.
I'm unimpressed always by somebody who, and then they ask
throw
you
it in
where
your
you've
fucking
been.
face. They throw it in your face. They ask you where you've been, but they don't care.
They don't care. They're only saying
it's a method
that
to get to me.
to tell you how much shit they know, and they never know anything. They never know anything.
I went on a hike in Ecuador, and this guy we were with kept trying to do these leading questions.
Yeah.
And he goes, "What's your favorite mountain range?" And I was like, "I don't have." What's your favorite mountain range? Oh, the Andes. I just love them. It was like, what the fuck kind of question is that? Just say I love the Andes.
I just always say something racist. I go, what's the white one? What's the one where it's mainly white people?
Appalachia. Probably my favorite is Appalachia.
It's mainly white people.
So where do you want to go today? What should we do?
We're talking about London.
So you travel some though.
I have to. It's for the job, but I like it.
Yeah, but you go more. I've talked to your.
Yeah, I go places.
Let's see. Your Robin. Your travel Robin.
Who's that?
Sam Tallent.
I love him.
Yeah.
He is the best.
Yeah.
We might do a tour of Asia. It'll make no money.
Yeah.
But I want to do it. And I want to do it only with Sam Tallent.
I don't know if I told you this.
Yeah.
Just because you said Asia and travel. Your recommendation in Melbourne for that Peking duck place?
Great.
Yeah. Solid.
And they're all from Sam.
Oh, really?
So Sam, really for the most part, is my Sherpa. He leads me. And we've gone out to Europe twice.
Okay.
And we've gone to Australia once. And he
just researches what to do, where, when?
Well, he's been all over the world and he knows everything, and I trust him. And we have fun. Like, we were in the south of France and we were sitting eating rotisserie chicken at a restaurant that was closed.
Yeah.
We didn't know that there were just seats outside. And then a woman came out with a broom and started hitting us and screaming. And we ran down the street, me and Sam Tallent, these two big guys running down the street like a cartoon, and a woman screaming at us, hitting us with a broom, screaming in Nice, France. We went to Noma in Copenhagen, the greatest restaurant in the world.
Been there with Bobby Kelly.
Me and Sam Tallent did that. We performed at Royal Albert Hall in the UK.
How'd you get Noma res?
Oh, come on, stop. We have connections. We have connections.
We had to get off a wait list. They were like, we met them that day.
We texted. Here's what happened. We actually don't know how it happened.
Yeah.
He texted everyone he knew, and I texted everyone I knew, and we don't know who did it.
But they called you.
We just cast a wide net.
Yeah.
I texted Matty Matheson, that chef guy.
Okay.
I texted people in New York.
Heard of that.
Texted people everywhere. Someone got us in. I don't know if it was a combination of people.
Dinner or lunch?
Dinner. It's amazing.
It's amazing. It takes you so fucking long to eat.
But you never have to go back. Isn't that interesting?
You do not ever have to go back.
I never have to.
15 years later, it's closed now. But 15 years later, you can be like, let me try it again.
My uncle's in the restaurant business, and he goes, the thing about restaurants like that, and he goes, you know, he would go to some of the best restaurants in New York, and he'd go, it'll be closed in a year. And I go, why? And he goes, you don't have to go back. He goes, there's nothing craveable. He goes, it's like a great show on Broadway. You don't have to see it again. So that's the way I felt. Where's that?
I think it says Noma, but no way.
That's not it.
That's not it at all.
It's Noma. This is No Mo.
Oh.
Yeah, this is something else.
Makes a lot more sense. Makes a lot more sense. What's his graffiti? What's his trash?
Yeah, that's it. It's right there. It's the wood. Go down. That's it.
Yeah. They space out the table so you don't have to sit too near people.
It's
Like, we
Scandinavian.
can get in more people, but like that's not your experience you want.
We went there. We performed in Finland on the border of Russia during the Ukraine war. Wow. And we asked to go to St. Petersburg to have chicken Kiev. And they said, we're a NATO country and you cannot travel to Russia. And I said, why not? And they said, Russia's in a war with Ukraine. And I said, that has nothing to do with me.
Nothing to do with you.
I want to have chicken Kiev. And they said, we're a NATO country. I said, no, you're not understanding. I'm actually not in NATO. I'm a Canadian.
And you're not even a country.
And I'm not a country.
Yeah.
I have no stake in this war. I hope it ends, but I'd actually like to have chicken Kiev. And then they were like yelling at me in the lobby of the hotel, so I started yelling back at them.
You should have invaded. You should have done.
I was not allowed. My private jet guy would not let me, because I called him. I go, hey, can you get me a flight into Russia? He goes, no one will do it.
It's right on Russia.
Dude, really Ari, it was 45 minutes away. St. Petersburg.
Why can't you do it?
It's one of the most
NATO country. Who cares? There's flights.
I agree with you.
There's flights.
No, there's not. Not from NATO countries. They're not. You have
to go from here?
No, you have to go to Dubai or Turkey.
Can you do it nonstop?
You can't do anything. You would have to fly to Dubai or to Turkey.
You fly economy to Russia, right?
I
Due
never.
to government restrictions.
Why would I'd fly economy nowhere?
Show results. They can't even show me the results.
No. Are you new to this? That you're not allowed to go to Russia.
But people.
You can go through Dubai or Turkey.
Oh.
You cannot go from a NATO country. So I was pissed off.
Yeah.
I kind of got in an argument with the person about it.
Hotel guy.
Yeah, who cares?
Yeah.
But he was being mean.
That's not. Also, you work in the service industry. You work in the hospitality industry.
I'm telling you, I want to go to Russia. I'm a guest.
Make it happen.
I'm a guest.
I have Yves Saint Laurent sunglasses.
I'm trying
you make it happen.
to go to Russia. They're Louis Vuitton. I'm trying to go to Russia so I can have a chicken Kiev.
LV, sorry.
It's not about politics.
I'd like to apologize.
And they're pissed off. So then, by the way, I had to sheepishly order room service. So after all that happens, and I got to call down and pretend like I'm not the guy that just got in a screaming match with him about NATO, and I have to go, hey,
So because I can't have chicken Kiev.
I'll have the roast chicken and the potatoes.
Is there somewhere here I can get chicken Kiev?
Hey, anyway,
I decided I don't want chicken at all. And
Yeah.
you've been a wonderful help to help me realize that.
We went to Finland. We went to Sweden, to Stockholm. We performed there. We performed in.
I did a podcast with Bobby Kelly about Cuba, and I wanted to get some Cuban beers while we did it. Or it was Sean Patton,
Right.
but I called the Astor Liquors. I was like, "Can you
Right.
get Cuban liquor or beers?" They're like, no.
Yeah.
I'm like, you don't want to get some? They go, sir, there's been a 70-year embargo on Cuba. No one will have Cuban liquor.
Right.
I'm like, oh, right.
Right. They're still doing that?
They're
You're
still
like,
fucking doing
they're
it.
still doing that?
Yeah, they're still doing that. Ukraine, that's got to be ended,
They're
right? Biden's
still
out.
doing that?
I thought Biden's out. I thought we're done with that.
Silly.
Hey guys, I'm going to break in real quick to let you know a little bit about our guest, Tim Dillon. Springtime's in the air, everybody. It's rebirth. It's newness. And what better way to celebrate that spring season than a brand new special? Kind of tipping your hat to rebirth. Tim Dillon's new Netflix special, I'm Your Mother. That's right, your mother gave birth to you, and Tim Dillon's giving birth to great comedy. Check it out on Netflix.com right now. I think they're still drop shipping DVDs to your door. You can keep it for up to 5 days and then send it back. You can get up to 3 at any time. And if they are delayed, if they only have, like, let's say, disc 2 in a 3-disc series, they'll send you just 3 first and let you have nothing to do with disc 2 because it's just like it's a shitty system. What they have now is actually a lot better. He's also going to be in Cary, North Carolina at the Charlotte Improv, the Raleigh Improv in May. Get tickets at timdillon.com. And I don't know. He just doesn't tour much. Those shows are probably already sold out. It's a club, and he's a massive fucking theater comic. God, it's always fun to have him around. Myself, I'm kind of done with my tour. I got one gig July 12th in Charlestown, West Virginia, and another gig June 18th in Anchorage, Alaska. And that's it for me. Those are my final ones. So, I don't know. See me around the city doing little spots. By the way, don't count on me being there. If better shit comes up, like a fun Yankee game ticket or something, I'm doing that instead. I'm not building towards a special now. So it's 50-50 whether I'll show up in town. I'm just telling you that if that means like, well, then I'm not going to buy the tickets, then don't. But I will be there in Charlestown, West Virginia in July and Anchorage, Alaska in June. Also, subscribe wherever you're listening to this podcast or watching it. Please help me get to 200,000 subscribers. Also, people are leaving in the comments guest suggestions, which I really like. And I've been reaching out to a lot of these people, and a lot of them have come back with positive fucking outlook. So leave a comment in this in the if you're watching on YouTube, hit subscribe. I'm trying to get to 200,000 subscribers. Help me out. But yeah, leave who would be good and why. Israel Adesanya, somebody said, because he trained in China. I bet he has some cool, interesting China stories. Or people that went to Brittany Griner's a good example of Russia. People tell me about some journalists that got arrested in Prague. I'm like, okay, this is the kind of shit I'm talking about. I'd like to know this. And anyway, so every third person knows who I am. Sixth person. I'm not that big. And then they'll be like, oh yeah, sure, I'd love to do that. It should be cool. So please keep sending your suggestions. If you know any like actor, athlete, writer, musician, who's like been to a fun, weird place that you know about, let me know. Reach out to Benedict Cumberbatch. That's not one that's going to write me back. He's way bigger than I am. He doesn't know I exist. Almost can guarantee you that. So he's not coming in. But you know who might come in? John Ronson, great writer. You know who might come in? Oliver Trees. You know who might come in? Bald and Bankrupt. Anyway, please keep doing it. I'll try to leave a comment saying give your guest suggestions here. And also keep nominating any episode you see for a Trippy. Best episode, if you see one, since January, not before. Best episode, best trip, most surprising guest, best food experience, drugs, biggest piece of shit. I'm trying to think what the other Trippies were. Anyway, let's get back to the episode. I hope you guys are enjoying this. I know I am every single week. Tim Dillon gave a very interesting breakdown of London culture and British culture in general, especially the Illuminati stuff that he's so interested in. All right, let's get back to it. But you want to tell me about where?
I want to talk about London.
Okay.
I find London to be one of the most, if not the most interesting city in the world.
Why? I like that, but why?
It seems to be every global trend is converging, and London seems to be the place that all of them are manifesting. It's the financial capital halfway between New York and Asia.
Yeah.
It's the most expensive city in the world. People from all over the world hide their money in London. Oligarchs, sheiks, dictators, people.
The kind of like dark history of New York shit that you love.
Yeah.
Seems like it started there.
It started there.
Yeah. With
Like,
the royalty, with the dukes and all that shit. And
not only did it start there, it has grown into something now that is global in scale. Like, shady people from all over the world are hiding their money in London, doing business in London, putting their kids in prep schools in London to turn them into like proper British gentlemen.
Oxbridge.
All of that stuff.
Yeah.
Eton, all those schools. And all of these, condos, homes, mansions, they're all bought under the name of a company. You don't know who owns any of them because they don't want. Some of these guys are like wanted for war crimes at The Hague. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Some of them like poisoned a river in Zambia. Some of them are wanted for like, but you also, London's the city where like Alexander Litvinenko is the KGB poisons him with polonium-210 over tea, and he withers away in a London hospital, poisoned with a biological agent, but polonium's like a radioactive agent. He becomes very pale. He loses all of his hair. He dies looking kind of like an alien, and he's a harsh critic of Putin. Boris Berezovsky, all these oligarchs.
I love Putin personally.
I've defended Putin for years, and all I wanted to do was have chicken Kiev in St. But no, so all of these
like you ever see
oligarchs.
the Squid Games, the end of Squid Games, season
course.
1 or whatever.
Yeah.
And where all those like super billionaires
Yeah.
come and like we don't even look at each other. We don't
Right.
even know each other.
Right.
It seems like that's all there. Underneath though,
All
that's not the
these
surface.
oligarchs flee the Soviet Union when when it collapses. Putin brings them all into a room in the 90s. It goes over. Like, not the 90s per se. I forget the exact year. But after Yeltsin,
That's it. Get out.
he goes, it's over. He goes, listen, the way it's going to work now is you got to kick up to me. You're going to stop fleecing the country. And some of those people ended up fleeing. The vast majority of them, some of them came to New York, Brighton Beach, Coney Island, whatever, Sheepshead Bay. The vast majority of them go to London. And the stronghold of like the Russian mafia, which is like an international crime syndicate. It's not only Russians, it's people from all the ex-Soviet republics, right? Moldova, Lithuania, Estonia, the Ukraine, whatever. Like people that are they base themselves out of London. and Putin picked some of them off. You know,
Just
one
killed
by
them
one.
off? Why? Because
Yeah.
they say something? Because they opened their fat mouth? They
'Cause
bought a mink for their wife?
They were challenging his authority. They were organizing, you know, in his
This is what they did in
mind-
Cuba. They're like,
Yeah.
let's get back in there.
Right.
Let's get back and take our shit
Yeah.
back. And he's like, I know you're coming now. 'Cause you're
So London's such an interesting place to me because like you have this concept of what it is, and
Yeah.
it's like comes from like, I don't know, Oliver Twist or something.
Yeah.
And that's not what it is. So it might have been what it was at one time, but there's no city to me. And A.A. Gill, who's one of the greatest travel writers of all time, who died. A.A. Gill, if anyone wants to read anything, they should read A.A. Gill. I mean, he's the best. He's the guy. And he's a British writer. I think he was originally Scottish.
Writing about food
Yeah,
and
he was
travel.
born in Edinburgh. And he's the greatest travel writer in history. And,
Really?
oh, yeah. There's no one better than A.A. Gill.
Oh, I got to ask.
You
Wolf
have to
if
read
he
him.
knows Okay. What should I start with?
Condos of the Living Dead is an article that he wrote for Vanity Fair about the new buildings they were building in New York and how they were selling all of these condos as a lifestyle. And it's one of the funniest things that has ever written because
Really?
he writes about the transformation of New York City into a global corporate hub that's very kind of unremarkable. And the architecture just being kind of glass and very corporate. And
Yeah,
and,
that's what it is.
you know, and he writes about it and he does it in a way that, you know, that like an outsider can do. And he's coming from London and going, we're ahead of you guys on this. We've seen it. We know what's happening. And you're just turning your city into a clearinghouse for billionaires from Europe and the Middle East.
They're doing it in Berlin now.
And that's what they're doing in Berlin and Europe. So London has kind of gotten all these trends first, right?
Right.
It's become this playground for wealthy criminals, a lot of them.
Interesting.
Billionaires,
Yeah,
but
this
also
is- yeah.
people that are like incredibly dangerous and incredibly like, you know, shady. And another great article, if you want to read, is about this 19-year-old dude who was thrown into the Thames River. And because he was, you know, he was pretending to be a Russian oligarch's son in London. And he got into this crazy world of crypto.
Oh, I
and
kinda
all
remember this.
shit. Yeah. And he was pretending to be this Russian oligarch's son in London because all around him is like the trappings of wealth. And he's like, I'm like a humdrum guy. I have to lie.
It's like the Italians are like, I'm connected. And people are like, all right, better not
Right.
fuck with him because what if he is?
Right.
Until they find out you're not connected.
Right. But also Italians are dumb. So what's interesting here
Where's the
is
whites?
that, no, but it's, I mean, what is going on, by the way? Have you been on social media with all the Italian social media influencers?
No, what?
Like they're all making chicken pie. It's too much. Like they're acting like this Italian American culture is this like thing that like people need to hear about.
It's trash.
It's trash.
You're promoting trash.
We know what it is.
I can do a chicken run. Anyone can.
Anyone.
It comes from poverty.
What are we doing? So, and it's always like somebody it's like, it's always this crazy, like, Italian kids tell their mother, I want prosciutto. It's like, no one acts like that.
No one acts like
says
that. You're doing a fake version of something. They look at Sopranos the way retards look at Corky.
Yes. Yes.
As it's like, well, no, we were in that. I'm like, it was 20 years ago, bro. Get a new character.
By the way,
What?
the best thing I've ever heard is they blank like the way retards look at Corky. Just the idea of retards looking at Corky. But so what I find,
But when you go around
Yeah.
London, are you looking at that? Or are you sort of like I know people like walk around Paris like looking at the like
I'm always
literature.
Like, I'm always like, I stay at this place, the Mandarin. It's in Knightsbridge. It's next to this building called One Hyde Park, where they literally screen your mail for explosives.
Oh,
Because a lot of the people in that building, people want to kill them.
who lives in One Hyde Park? Like senators?
No,
That person?
like Saudi, like people like that.
Yeah.
So, and then you walk around Harrods and you see like these women in these like
It's Harrods. A
Harrods
store?
Harrods is like the most famous clothing store in the world. Yeah, okay. And then you have all these like Arab women walk around in like those burqas or abayas or whatever, and they're all like Gucci and Louis Vuitton. It's kind of hilarious. And they're just driving Rolls Royces and like their kids are in Ferraris. They have like petro dictatorship money.
Yeah.
And they have servants. it's old school, like wealth beyond any conception. Like New York, people have money, but like it's just different. London, it's like that petro dictatorship money,
Yeah.
like
You own
they have
islands.
slaves.
Right, islands, and like you're pretty much the old, like you have serfs.
It's a crazy thing to watch,
Interesting.
and
Because
this
I don't
is-
see that London at all.
well, it's a totally different London.
Yeah.
It's totally different London. And I'm just interested in it because I've always been interested in what these people are up to. That's
Yeah.
always what I've been interested in. I always find them really interesting, really fun. You've known me a long time.
Yeah, you're always into them. Even that bus tour was all about
the
that.
bus tour about them. It was all about these people.
Oh, you got to do a London bus tour.
I would love to do a London bus tour and be sick.
They already have the double deckers.
And you know what's interesting? And the reason I like these people is as we become this really grotesque society where everybody wants to be famous and known, these people kind of don't. So that's interesting. So it's like, that's interesting.
And they always have
to
a
me.
kid who ruins it by
They
like trying
always
to, and
have a
like,
kid who
hey,
ruins it.
we're
Yeah.
not known.
Yeah. There's always a kid who ruins it. Always a kid who ruins it. And they're like, we're just trying to quietly stack money and behead people. We're behanding people. And then there's always like their daughter ruins it because she like poses on a yacht in the south of France or something. And they try to build up some social media presence. But like, these people, in my estimation, these are the people who run the world. It's not the government, and it's not the
Jews
people
of
who
America.
you think it is. It's like yes, obviously we know who Vladimir Putin is, but like there's a lot of people in Russia that you don't know who they are, and they have tons of power and wealth. And Putin mediates conflicts between those people, and those are like feuding oligarchs. And Putin will sit them both down and go, "Okay, you get this, you get that.
We got to work it out. Everyone's
We gotta
like,
work
less
it
money.
out."
Stop.
And you know, we tend to know about like Mohammed bin Salman. We know about Trump. We know about the leaders of these countries.
Yeah.
But we don't really know about the really wealthy, powerful people that prop up. Now we start to know more about them because like Elon Musk wants to be famous.
Yeah.
So we're
He's
like,
kinda
oh
fucking
my
up for
God.
everybody.
It's like, wait, what? Like you have how much? And you're doing what? Like he's coming out of the shadow. Like some of these tech guys are just coming out of the shadows because they're fully embracing, I'm a supervillain. I have a spaceship. Fuck you. It's
They
jumping
want to
the
be
shark.
known.
Yeah.
They want to be known. Once you start fucking like rappers or whatever.
No, make no mistake.
Musicians.
There are fully human traffickers sitting somewhere looking at Elon Bezos going, they have no class. They have no taste.
Wow.
Truly.
Yeah.
Think about that. There
Yeah.
are evil.
You're showing your shirt off on the
evil
fucking cover of something.
There are evil genocidal monsters sitting around going, why are they doing this? Why are they behaving like this? There's a code.
Hi, everybody. Today's episode of You Be Trippin is brought to you by Mudwater. Guys, you ever get lackadaisical? You ever get like, I don't know, kind of like, where you can barely focus on your task? Well, what I'm trying to do is take revenge on my enemies. Yeah, every day I think of really devious, deep, and drawn out ways to take revenge on my enemies. But sometimes I get to those 3 o'clock doldrums and I can barely focus on what's the best way to get to them that would hurt them the most. Well, guess who's helping? Mudwater. Yeah, the best part of Mudwater is it provides sustained energy without the spikes and crash of traditional coffee. There's also caffeine-free blends available. Each ingredient in Mudwater serves a purpose. The OG blend contains cacao and chai for a hint of caffeine and hot chocolate-like flavor. Lion's mane for focus, which is what I need to get back at the people who have wronged me. Should I make them eat their dog? Should I make them have sex with their mother? Any of these things could be possible, but I can't focus without Mudwater. It makes me feel great. Puts me back on track for the revenge I so desire. Ready to make the switch to cleaner energy? Head to mudwater.com and grab your starter kit today. Right now, my listeners get an exclusive deal. It's up to 43% off your entire order, plus free shipping and a free rechargeable frother when you use the code TRIPPIN. No G. That's right. Up to 43% off with code TRIPPIN at mudwtr.com. After your purchase, they'll ask you how you found them. Please show your support and let them know that I sent you. Keep your energy natural and refreshing all year long with Mud/WTR, because life's too short for anything less than clean, delicious energy. Hey guys, today's episode of You Be Trippin is brought to you by Shopify.com. You know, starting your own business is difficult. It can be intimidating. Yeah, you're trying to reach customers that you don't even know, and you don't know how to do it. Well, I know when I'm selling things online, Shopify helps me get everything set up to get me straight to my customers. It's a commerce platform behind millions of businesses around the world. And 10% of all the e-commerce in the U.S., from household names like Mattel and Gymshark to brands like mine. What I'm selling is diarrhea. Sometimes I get back from a trip and I haven't really pooped out all the fucking evils of the street meats that I ate. And as soon as I get home, I eat one kale salad and it all comes out. Well, you know who wants that? The fans. They said, Ari, I'd love to smell that. I'd love to see it. Now I'm sending it out. Shopify helped me build that website. Go to arishaffir.com. You can buy my used diarrhea poop. Not available a lot, but it is available when I come back from a long trip. Also, you can get my signed vinyls, grinders, go for a hike shirts, all sorts of stuff. Accelerate your content creation. Shopify is packed with helpful AI tools that write product descriptions, page headlines, and even enhance your product photography. Guys, it's great, and it will help you get set up, and I actually do use it even before they came to me as a sponsorship on arishaffir.com. It's a Shopify site. Turn your big business idea into with Shopify on your side. Sign up for your $1 per month trial and start selling today at shopify.com/trippin. Go to shopify.com/trippin. That's shopify.com/trippin. Now let's get back to the episode. But for real, use them. It's like really easy to set up your like online portal and platforms with it. They just do a great job. Okay, let's get back to the episode. It's so funny. Class is like an interesting thing where it's like with the Fat Black last night, the Fat Black, not the bar, the other one. There was just like 4 drunk idiots with their gay. They're all hags with their gay,
right?
And they're just screaming. And I'm like, okay, so the class there is way lower than whatever, but like they're declassing the rest of this crowd,
right?
I'm like, you're in New York,
right?
Have some fucking class.
Yeah.
Don't be drunk this early.
No, people are monsters. But what makes...
So, you brought up an interesting point about how London is no longer what it's kind of selling. This happens in a lot of places. Like Haight-Ashbury is a great example where it's like the Beatniks, like, it ain't that.
No.
It's Zara's and whatever and like rich tech bros.
Yeah.
But they're still Austin. Keep Austin weird. Austin hasn't been weird in about 15 years.
Yeah, it's not weird.
So like London is kind of that too, pretending it's this thing, this Sex Pistols haven, when it ain't.
It speaks to this other trend where people don't necessarily have a allegiance to a nation state. They have an allegiance to their class of people and the financial architecture. So these people feel at home in London or New York or Aspen or Riyadh.
Yeah.
But they don't care. Like, yes, are they from Saudi? Are they Muslim? Sure. Or are they from Israel? Are they Jewish? Yes. Or are they from New York and they're fucking wasps? Whatever, who cares? But really what it comes down to is the ability of them to move their money around the globe and evade taxes and manipulate democracy and put their people in power. That's way more important to them than any landmass.
Yeah.
Except Israel. They do seem to care about that.
Right, because there's a connection to it.
They do. I will say one qualifier is they do seem to care about that one. No. It's not saying that they don't care.
They're beyond country. Like Facebook is like, we're not American anymore. We just make money. We're just going to change laws places.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of these people will hide their money in all these different countries in case they fall out of favor with the ruling class of the country.
Yeah, it's almost silly to be only in one country. It's like being in one comedy club. Like,
why do you think like Donald Rumsfeld and all these guys, they had places in South America, a lot of them, because they were like, if it ever gets out what we did, let's go
somewhere
that we did,
where we have armed guards.
The Bush family, all these people, they're like, if it ever comes out and if they ever turn on us, because you could make a case that any of them were war criminals. And by the way,
not any,
all. And a good case.
Yeah.
Okay.
But again, Putin, I'm all on board. You're great. No disrespect.
As Tucker Carlson said, actually,
he loves you.
Here's the thing with Putin. Killer, sure, has class. Has that thing that those people didn't at that bar, at the Fat Black.
Yeah, he has class.
You know, if those women you saw, or
he'd wear a suit when it calls for a suit.
The man walks in a suit. So what I find really interesting or fun about this stuff is that it's also quite comical because you have to look at the world, I think, as kind of a weird, deeply funny and tragic place.
Yeah.
And I do think some of this is really, really amusing.
In what way?
Because you know, seeing a bunch of Saudis drive these Ferraris up and down London
And just drop them off at the airport and be like,
into
I'm
this, and into this like building of glass boxes that's pretty unremarkable, and it's actually ugly compared to all the other buildings.
Dubai,
and
shit,
pay
there's
$200 million.
There's no class. There's no like.
No.
There's no like style at
and,
all.
And pay like $200 million for an apartment in this building
That's like soulless.
that's soulless and it's just there
Get a
to
gargoyle.
stash money and hide money. And, you know, and it's not only them, it's people from all over the world. It's people from Europe and Asia and whatever. It's just funny. And Russia is huge in London. These people are, a lot of them are incredibly morally compromised in ways that are just very funny. Like, it is very funny to think about growing up and being taught, like, work hard, be honest, and you'll get places. And then in actuality, it's actually the opposite.
I met one of these. I met one,
kind
yeah.
of like in that case, it's
Yeah.
kind of like it's not the opposite in all cases, but the people here that I'm talking about are among the most, like, these are international crime families.
It's funny. I met one of them at a UFC, like some
Yeah.
sheik, whatever. And I'm
Right.
like, I didn't know the history, but like, oh, this is a sheik. He owns this
Yeah.
and this. And I was like, and they're like, and I'm like kind of shaking his hand. I was like, is this one of the slave owners you guys are talking about?
Right.
And they're like, yeah. I'm like, why are we being cool with them?
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. What are you going to do?
No, I'm not going to do anything, but I'm not going
Right.
to go out of my way like these guys
But here's the
fawning
other.
over
He's
him.
probably a nice guy.
He is a nice guy, but at some point you go, hey, I got plenty of nice guy friends.
I agree with you, but I don't know.
And also,
Is
I know it's their
slavery your
society.
red line?
No,
It's not
no,
mine
no,
either.
it's McDonald's.
It's not mine either.
If you eat McDonald's, we're out. If you own slaves and don't eat McDonald's, I'm still
Here's
okay
the
with
deal.
you.
I am not for slavery, and I would not have a slave.
Bullshit.
Okay, you're
Bullshit.
right. On both counts, you're right.
Okay.
On both counts, you're right.
Dude, let's take race out of it.
Yeah.
Let's take race out of it because
Yeah,
that's
of
what
course.
catches people.
Yeah.
So it's not based on race. It's based
No.
on height.
Yeah, it's with
Let's
of
go.
course.
Yeah. You would get them. If it was
You gotta
socially
get 'em.
acceptable, and they'd be like, all right, well, we're all going to get them.
But if I went to Dubai and I said this on my show the other day, and everybody was like, "Oh, it's all made by slaves," I'm like, "Okay, but I'm still gonna just compliment some of the buildings."
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. What do you want me to do? Lead a revolution?
I can't change it.
You want me to lead a revolution right now, or do you want me to have breakfast at the Four Seasons? If I went to the Qatar Four Seasons, I wouldn't be like, "I can't believe you let Hamas stay here." I'd go, "The pool's really nice."
Yeah, it's like, I wouldn't,
There's-
but it's
you
up to
know-
you. It's not my job. Wait.
Yeah.
What do you do in London? What's your, like, you get there, you stay for a week or two?
I stay for as long as I can. I mean, it's never 2 weeks. But
Do
it's
you go just for gigs or do you go for just fun? Too?
I go for gigs. I've gone for fun. I have some friends there.
Okay.
I usually split my time. But, you know, I'll go to a show. I'll go compare it to, like, New York. I'll go to a show in the West End. I'll go,
Broadway type
yeah,
show.
is it as good as New York? And to be honest, it never is.
What?
It just never is.
Their theater is not as good as American
It
theater?
never is. The terror of failure in this country makes people better at what they do. I'm being very serious.
Say that again?
Just knowing that there is no health insurance if you get kicked off the show. Just knowing how hard, like, the brutality of it. And I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying they don't have an Audrey McDonald who's killing it in Gypsy right now. Maybe the most talented woman in the country. They're very good. Don't get me wrong. They have great stuff. It's not New York. It's just what it is. And they'll tell you that too, by the way. They'll tell you that, you know?
Yeah.
Jez Butterworth, who, you know, the ferryman, which was a huge play in
Soldier
London.
McDonald?
Yes. this is the person at Gypsy.
It's like, Ari.
By the way, look at that. The evolution of Ronald McDonald. Look how terrifying it was at
Oh
one
my
point.
God, yeah.
That's crazy.
This one is the wildest one.
Hold on. I like that one with the hair on the side. Looks like Sideshow Bob.
This?
Yeah.
Yeah, what the fuck
The
is
fuck?
that?
That used to be Ronald
Oh,
McDonald?
that'll haunt a nightmare.
Whoa.
Haunt your dreams. What?
Oh my God.
That's like a caricature that they make fun of me on.
Right. They made Ronald McDonald a hat. They made him a Jew.
Yeah, they made him a Jew. A hat? Is that what you call him?
The hats. Yeah, the hats.
Wow. Tiny hats.
But I go to my friends and I'll sit down with them and go to like, because they live in these little flats.
Yeah.
And they sit there and they complain. It's a very British thing to complain. It's very raining.
It's rainy all the time.
And they're kind of always, they're never enraged, but they're never happy, which is what I find I like about them. They always have gripes. And it's kind of passive aggressive. They have gripes. Oh, there's construction, this, that. Oh, the Olympics, they're doing that. Yeah, it's so crap. The building I work in, they just moved. But like, it seems like very built on that.
There is, I'm trying to
And I
stay away
like
from
that.
negative, but there's a positive type of negative where it's
Yes.
like, let's talk shit about somebody.
Yeah, it's kind of
But we're not
gripes and
mad.
fun.
We're just like,
And it's shit talking.
Yeah,
and
gossip.
Yeah, and it's a
shit talking. Yeah, it's
a
fun.
good shit talking. For me, the experience that I have there
Yeah.
is kind of like fun shit talking, and they
Do
all
they give a fuck about America or not? Or like, how much does it enter into their minds?
I got to be honest. They care about celebrity. Like America is just, this is what they think America is.
Yeah.
Is just this launching pad for the most famous people in the world. No one's as famous as Donald Trump, Kim Kardashian, Taylor Swift. Like there is no one in the UK outside of the royals, and even the royals, who are as famous as the people. So their culture has been completely, somewhat polluted by our mega celebrities.
Wow. Yeah.
So they think of America as a place where really, really, really famous people exist. And they think of it as a place where everyone has a gun, everyone's eating poison, everyone's working themselves to death.
True. That is a
Everyone
place.
has a 12,000 square foot house and a big SUV and no one can afford it. They tend to believe that everyone
They read the reports. They hear the stereotypes. And they go,
They
that's
hear
true.
the stereotypes, but they also have a very, at least in my estimation, their American culture is the default. It's like the dollar's a reserve currency. American culture is like the reserve culture.
That's why you see those British comics and they go,
Yeah.
well, I got to make it in America. And
Yeah,
you see
yeah.
the ones that sell at the O2 Arena 4 times.
They have-
And then
yeah.
they're like, who the fuck is that?
Who's
And
that?
that
Right.
bothers them a little bit.
Yeah, of course. They have their Big Brother. They have their celebs. They have their reality TV and stuff.
There are San Diego.
Yes, there are San Diego, but they don't have the Taylor Swift. They don't have the,
Wait, who's the biggest
Beyonce.
British?
They don't have
No
that.
Bad Bunny, no Drake, no.
They don't have. They have Boris Johnson, but think of it. Boris Johnson nowhere near Donald Trump.
No, he's in his shadow, really.
That's what I mean. Like a lot of their people are kind of a less famous version of the people that we churn out.
Yeah.
So we still have the, like,
David Beckham. Fuck
Yeah.
off. Amy Winehouse. Half of these are dead.
No.
Paul McCartney's been forever ago. Taylor
Justin
Swift's on their
Bieber.
list.
What does Justin Bieber have nothing to do with it?
Canadian, exactly.
What are we
Bowie's
talking
dead.
about?
Wow, that's interesting. Okay.
It's not.
Yeah,
so
wow.
we dominate in that regard.
Hey guys, today's episode of You Be Trippin' is brought to you by Ridge. Guys, a lot of my guests go to foreign, crazy places and they don't want to lose their wallet. And things get dangerous where they are. Ridge's new AirTag attachment lets you always know where it is. Before you get into a panic, like, where's my wallet? Where's my wallet? Which I do all the time. Guess what? It's behind the bed. It's behind the bed. I was fucking hard and the thing bounced and fell off. I did notice a big fucking heavy sound. Yeah. By the way, Ridge isn't always about wallet. They create premium everyday carry essentials like key cases, suitcases, and rings. All built with the same sleek, durable design. Yeah, and if you get shot, it's made of durable metal that'll stop a bullet. Not fully, but last-ditch effort if it goes through a bunch of other stuff and it's about to hit you. Yeah, it's a last-ditch effort. That's what my guests who travel to crazy places love. For a limited time, my listeners get 10% off at Ridge by using the code ARI at checkout. Just head to ridge.com, use the code ARI, and you're all set. After you purchase, they will ask you where you heard about them. Please support the You Be Trippin' show and tell them that I sent you. Thank you. Now let's get back to the episode. Keep all your stuff together with Ridge, with a wallet from Ridge. All right.
So you'll be at a dinner or you'll take a walk with somebody and they'll talk about, but they're also surprised at how radical the politics are here because they're getting radical in the UK a little bit, but they're nowhere near yet kind of as charged as they are here, like emotionally.
Interesting. That's what I'm
They're an
looking forward
old
to.
country. People there don't expect to be millionaires. They don't expect to start a business. They don't expect to be an entrepreneur. There is more of a reasonable expectation of life. I don't think, I think it's more, in some ways, it's more rational. There's a class system there that they kind of like believe in.
Yeah.
Transcending class there isn't easy. It's hard to go from somebody with
Because they also have the high blood, I call it high blood and low blood accents.
highborn.
Where it's like Finn Taylor, I don't know if you know him. He's got this highborn accent.
Right. And then you have
so like you
Cockney.
just take him more seriously than someone who talks like trash.
That's what it is. So they're very much like, you can't transcend class there in the way that you can in America. Like America, as long as you have money, for the most part, you can buy your way in.
Yeah.
For the most part. There's a few enclaves you can't, but for the most part.
Yeah, you can buy your way in. It's Beverly Hillbillies.
In the UK, you can't. You really can't. They will not let you into their society.
Is that why Jimmy Carr wears a suit so he can pretend to be born like that?
I don't know. I don't know. He's a mega celeb, so there's certain. I think he'd agree with me, and I think like about England in general is like proximity to like the royal family and people like that is their Hollywood.
Right. Yeah.
That's why Meghan Markle was like, oh, she didn't understand. It's like, no, that's the deal. These people pay for you to live like a fairy tale, but you have to give them access into every part of your life. It's like Chapel Rowan goes, well, I don't like people stopping me in the airport. It's like, well, go back to working at Wendy's. No, the deal is you make $40 million, $50 million this year, but people are going to say hello to you.
I love
Hey,
Chapel
Meghan
Rowan. I
Markle.
love that idea. I was like, beat it. I'm not at work.
Well, listen, good for her.
But it's not realistic.
But here's the thing.
Yeah.
You know who's really not at work?
Who?
The people who work at Target. They're never at work, except even when they're at Target.
Yeah.
So when you are one of the most
Do you
famous
think people at Target, like when they're with their friends later, they're like, hey, when's the new lawn chairs coming in? And they're like, dude, I don't want to fucking talk about this.
I bet they are. I bet some of them do. But I mean, and I'm not shitting on anyone that works at Target. I'm just saying, like, if you want privacy, there's ways to get it. Being one of the most famous singers in the world and then going, by the way, I don't love that this job comes with all these other things. Meghan Markle, oh, they want pictures of my baby? The fucking prince? Bitch,
yeah. You married, you knew what you were doing when you dated him. He was already mega famous. You didn't just fall into something
but here's
as a
the other
housemaid.
thing. The royal family's money, the taxpayers pay for them.
Yeah. Right. Then
They're
go away.
paying
Then go
for
away
you.
and don't take anything.
You're the oldest reality show they have.
Right.
They're
Wow.
paying for you so that they can fucking pour over every little thing.
This is so much different than Danny Brown's episode of London.
Probably.
It's so much different. It was all just the purity of the drugs.
Okay, but that's the strength of the
grind
show.
scene.
It's the strength of the show.
That's what I always wanted to do. What do you eat when you're there? You go to nice restaurants? What do you eat when you're there?
Indian food, the curry is amazing.
God damn, it is.
It's the best.
But it's everywhere. That's another thing. They go, British food sucks. I'm like, no one's eating British food.
It's also like British food. Listen, here's the thing. There's a few things that are good, but they have their few things. It's like the
Brekkie?
roast, English breakfast, things like that. Hassan Blumenthal's a genius. He's got his dinner at the Mandarin's great restaurant. The Fat Duck or the Brang Duck or one of those fucking pubs he does is great. British food's great. Not British food. I'm sorry. Indian food in the UK is great. Chinese food's really good. I don't know, man. It's a global city. I feel like it's like New York. I feel like you can get anything you want.
Yeah.
I think you can get anything you want. I think here's my other hot take. I don't think any of these global cities are that different anymore in terms of like cuisine.
You could go anywhere for it.
Kinda
Even
go
French cuisine, you can get it everywhere
you
in
get
New
good
York.
pizza in Paris now. Cut it out. It's fine. It'll be good. Is it New York? No. But will you
Do you
go?
get
Will you spit it out? No.
No, right.
Paris.
Pizza starts at 7.
Somebody from Italy moved to Paris and made great pizza.
Dude, I had
I'm telling
some
you.
like almost like borderline Amazonian town. There was some old Italian guy that moved there, and it was
Yeah.
like, this is great.
Yeah, it's no longer a thing. In fact, I think that, it's one of those things that like now Glasgow is not a world-class city, so the food's terrible.
Ubiquitous Spoon is great.
Where?
Glasgow.
Okay, like one or two places, but on average, it's gross
Yeah,
because everyone's on heroin.
I'll give you that.
And when you're on heroin and you're stabbing people, you don't need. And by the way, this is great. This is great. Hit image on the food. Like the dude just hit gallery maybe.
Why didn't the standard just say
Oh, they just won't even. But that's the best hotel. I love that fucking hotel.
dining? There we go.
Yeah, so that's pate that he makes look like an apple. You can't hate that.
Wait, no.
I'm telling you.
Wait, that's not an
Chicken
apple?
liver pate.
Meat fruit.
It's a meat fruit.
Oh, and that's just the bread to eat it with.
Correct.
Listen, it's different than a burrito. You're paying for presentation.
Well, why wouldn't you?
It's just a whole different style of food. It's not even like similar.
Burrito's a third world food.
I know. That's why I don't. That's my example of like, why would this ever be expensive? This is never. There's no reason to pay for
I
a
agree
$30.
with you.
It's dirt food. Pate is not dirt food.
No.
And he's doing.
Why would
such
I
a
wait?
high
I mean,
level
by the way,
version of
I'm sure Lucali's great pizza. Why would I wait in line an hour and a half for pizza? I don't care what it tastes like. Pizza's a food that's good because you can get it. It's accessible.
Wow, look at that. I mean, he's even got the shine on it.
This is what I mean. Like,
Are you kidding me?
so what? Colonialism, empire. This is good.
How much is this?
I don't know.
You
It's
don't
not
look
that
at-
much money.
You don't look at prices anymore, do you?
Well, no, I will, but I can't off the top of my head recall it. By the way,
Yeah.
me and Sam Tallent and we had a few other friends, a few other comics that were UK guys. We all had dinner there. Not crazy.
Okay. Noma too, not that crazy.
Not that crazy. No. Here's the thing. When you leave New York and LA, you start realizing you're like, oh, we're getting robbed. Like, dude, in ways you can't even imagine.
Well, people go like, "Oh, London's too expensive." And I'm like, I live in a more expensive
Yeah,
town.
no, dude,
It's a
we're
tax
getting
break.
robbed. And dude, the eggs, Cotswold. Google the Cotswolds right now.
What's the Cots?
It's this area that Ellen just moved to because she's doing a seance with a necromancer to try to raise an army of the dead to come at Trump. The Cotswolds. Now, this is a storybook village where people like Ellen have fled to be with kind of other white lesbians who have a relationship with Satan.
Really?
Yes.
What? Where is this?
Don't second guess.
What? Okay, fair. Wait, she moved there to be away from all the fucking haters?
Because Trump is in office and she's she like.
Oh, I love it. It's not because we ran you out of showbiz. It's because Trump.
It's because she used to crucify her interns, and she was trying to teach them lessons. She'd string them up.
Oh, it's right here.
Stigmata through the. So this is where people live to LARP. Like, dude, if you want to go to the Cotswolds right now. Now, by the way, go to homes for sale in the Cotswolds. I'm not even kidding.
Oh, okay, this is fun.
You can buy a fucking house. I'm not even kidding, dude. In the Cotswolds. I'm not even kidding.
Yeah.
Like, go. I don't know which is the one. Seville's is probably good.
Where's Seville? It's
Right down there. It's the third one.
Okay.
Just go down. Yeah.
695. That's about a mil.
By the way, look at this. 1.4. Look what you get. Look what you get. You live in like a store. Look at 1.4.
Wow.
You live in a manor for 1.4. Look at this. You can click. There's more photos of it. Probably, yeah, the arrow over there.
Wow.
1.4.
1.4 pounds. So that's $2 million.
So what? Look at this.
Norman bought his first condo here for $600,000. That was 10 years ago.
Right.
And it was a studio.
Dude, I have a condo here for 2.7. It's nothing. It's like,
Wow. Look at this. And it comes with books, flowers. Damn, this is fucking nice.
So
they all live there now. It's like they're like gentrifying
a lot of
it.
people are
It's got the
moving to
original
this
structure from the
area
White
now
House.
because this is where celebrities are moving to pretend they care about diversity. The whitest place in the
Do you
world.
know about that when the monarchy was like in like their vacation homes, their like country homes, and
Yeah.
they cook bread all day
Interesting.
and then throw it out because like we want the smell of baking bread because we're like countrying right now.
Right.
And they go sweet, but like I'm not eating a bunch of bread. Chuck it. Like, can
You
we give
think
it to
they
the
should just give it to some
nah,
vagabond?
It's not about them.
Do you believe in the human hunts? I was reading this book about Belgium, where they would like have these children run through an area and then elites would hunt them and kill them. Do you believe in that? I don't know. I think maybe it's true.
What?
Look at this yard. Human hunt.
I love it.
Well, here's the thing. They would get like poor
Kids?
Well, poor children from the village.
They're fucking everything up.
And you
give. It's like
and you would hunt them.
What's the Jonathan Swift book?
Feed the Irish peasants should feed their poor babies to the rich.
Yeah.
So what I'm thinking about
Practical
is
solution. What the fuck?
all right. Think about this.
All I want is a fire pit. This is crazy.
This is what I mean.
Yeah, that's your yard.
We're sold on this idea that everything is so crazy. It's really not. Look how insane that is. That's the English countryside. By the way, that's in the
backyard.
That's not even in the spring. Do you know how amazing that looks in the fucking spring?
So you just open up your gate back here and then just wander out.
You just wander out in those big boots, those
big boots, the wellies,
and you just wander around, and you kind of like just kind of have a cup of tea and kind of talk about Hitler.
You got to wear a sweater inside. That's about talk. Let's see if we did good. I'm just starting to see now is because I don't care about politics. I'm trying to see what Trump does, how he does it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, he's so good at distracting by saying something kind of just like, look, Gulf of America. Does that affect anyone? Like, no.
Yeah, no.
They're like, what a distraction then.
It was great.
I got to start doing that.
Yeah.
As people are coming at me about anything.
Yeah.
Just say something wild that they can fight on while they're ignoring this main thing.
Yeah.
Oh, what a tactic.
Yeah. He'll be like Gulf America, and then he'll be like, "There's no more blackboards in schools." That's out. He's like, "That's done."
I would definitely go for a human hunt. And kids are wily.
Well, this is what I'm saying. In
Do
Belgium,
they know they're being hunted? You'd have to tell them, otherwise it'd be too easy.
Well, here's the thing. They here's the thing, and I don't want to bring everyone down, but I think they rape and kill them.
Them first.
That's what they say the hunt is. I'm just looking at these properties going, you kind of get it. Not that you would do it, but
That's where you do it.
it's acreage. What do the Royals do?
That's not
No, this is not. Do Belgium. Google Belgium castle human hunt. Because there is a castle where they hunt humans. Or used to. Yeah, this is. There it is. Chateau d'Amois. So now, okay, so just go to that Wikipedia. This castle is supposedly where they had the human hunts.
What? Okay, whatever.
I don't know if they did or not.
Purchased to fire, blah, blah, blah. During the patrol of German soldiers committed. Come on. What I want is the fucking hunt shit.
You got to Google human hunt.
Yeah, okay.
Because they're going into the architecture here. That's not what we want. We want humans being hunted. Not that we want it. We want to know about it.
I mean, I love if they still have their old style.
I don't think they do it anymore, but who knows? Why would you stop? It's a great question.
The untold story. That's it.
This is what it is. It's called the Mother of Darkness Castle.
Wow.
I think we should go there.
Yeah, I'm down.
They say it's super evil.
We can do an episode about this. Write the whole thing off as a tax write-off. Wow. Oh, I got. Okay. Well, there's the untold dark story. Wow.
So this is what. Whenever I read about royalty, I wonder how dark and bad it really is. Because you'd think
without any rules.
No
it's
rules.
Not like you have to go to hunting humans, but
no.
You might dabble. You might just let me rule it out.
People just start going, you know what? Sunday is wide open.
If you guys are doing it,
Sunday
I guess
is wide open for a human hunt.
You ever hear Fitzsimmons' joke about getting blown by a dude?
No.
I think it's him. But he says he got blown by a dude and he didn't like it. And people are like, oh, okay. He goes, no, I didn't like it.
That's hilarious.
And he goes, you're guessing that you're not gay.
Right.
I ruled it out.
Hilarious.
What are you scared of?
That's so funny.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Well, that's the way
we
they
could try
feel.
hunting human and then be like, I don't know.
So I wonder.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's hard to know.
It's drafty in London. What else should people know about it? Here's my favorite things. Those little towel warmers in every fucking bathroom.
They're great.
We don't get those here.
Yeah.
It's drafty. I don't love the draft.
Well, the weather sucks.
The weather sucks, but it's
gray
cold
and
here
rainy.
too. It's not drafty here.
Well, here's the thing in London. I think you have to just develop a different constitution. You have to just start wearing wool and knit. And your face is kind of red all the time.
Yeah, in this house, you are wearing.
Yeah.
Wool.
You're wearing like wool.
Inside,
Yeah.
this one. Yeah. You're wearing just wool around the house. Take out the garbage. You're wearing wool in here. Just sweater. Always
And I
tending
think
a
you
fire.
have to figure out like where you want to go because you can take a quick train ride to Paris and all these places. You can't stay in London all the time. It's like New York.
It'll drive you crazy.
New York has Florida or whatever, or maybe out east on Long Island or fucking wherever.
Yeah, people do go crazy here when you're like, hey, when's the last time you left?
You got to leave.
It's like 7 months ago. You
gotta
gotta
leave.
step
You
foot
gotta
out
leave.
and then like at least.
So I think
a
with
month there.
London, it's like you got to get out of certain places.
But that's one of the cool things about London is you can.
What
if
are you
leave
worried
your
about?
apartment at 8
Yeah.
a.m.
Yeah.
You can have lunch in Paris at 12:45 and be home in time for the fucking nightly.
What are
news.
you worried about in terms of are there? Yeah,
Good question.
yeah,
The bleakness of the weather.
bleak.
I'm a sun guy,
It's not sunny ever.
so June to September, I think I'll be great.
It's barely sunny then. It's just never sunny.
Worried about making friends.
Yeah.
I have deep old school friends here, so I don't know. I
You'll-
know I
you-
have
You
some.
will actually be fine on that count.
Comedy helps.
Comedy helps.
You just go in and just like, are you guys going to a diner? Can I come?
You'll be fine.
Yeah, okay. Also, all my friends are like, I don't know if you get this. You're younger than me for sure, but they're aging out now. They're starting to breed. They're
No,
starting
I
to
get it.
move.
I
Like
get
Jay
it.
moved. They're starting to move away from Manhattan to Rosa. It's like,
You know what's
what
interesting?
happened to my scene?
Well, I think that it's changing. There's two things that are happening. Number one, people are getting older. Number two, people are just not. The pandemic really made people into homebodies.
Yeah, it really did.
People really now are like,
You know, they have 5 p.m. to 12 midnight raves.
yeah,
5
it's
to 12
crazy.
instead of 10 to fucking 8.
No, literally, like you'll hang out with someone now and you go, when do you want to hang out? And they go, what about noon? And you go, noon? Like 12. They go, yeah. And they want to do a day hang because by 8 p.m., they want to be home. And by 10 p.m., they want to be in bed.
It's crazy.
And I remember being in comedy New York at like 2:30 in the morning at Veselka, laughing and shitting on can't believe this one got Montreal.
Yeah. So do you think that's still going on with a younger generation?
I don't think so.
It's the prices of rent have,
I
mean, are
think-
crazy.
I
I'm
think
priced
some
out.
of it's going on.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of it is they're all like, oh, your video was funny. It's really different. They all go up to each other and go, dude, that video you did was super funny. And like, so I think they film a lot of shit, which is cool, and they make a lot of shit.
Yeah.
But there's not, the hang doesn't seem to be, we hung out without, we hung out.
Because we had the benefit of there was nothing to do. There was no pods.
There was
So
nothing
there was
to
no
do.
work tomorrow.
And there was no like like we weren't always strategizing about.
Just get ahead. Hanging out with you at the old stand.
We used to
Like,
laugh.
I don't know. We're gonna
We used
go
to
drink.
try to be
Okay.
really, really
Not you.
funny
Yeah.
and laugh. I remember it was be like Yamanika and you and me and the Normand or Soda or like Jay
Smith
and
was still
Christine.
coming
Like
around. Yeah.
all these people would be coming in and out, and we would have a lot of fun. And then people would go to that diner, or they'd go to Veselka, or earlier on, people would hang out at the creek in the cave. And people would
Till
smoke
all
cigs
hours.
in the back at 3 a.m. We'd be smoking cigs in the back of the creek in the cave, laughing.
Yeah.
All I remember from the first 8 to 9 years of comedy was laughing uncontrollably
Yeah.
because I was around all these people that were so funny, and we were all just being. I remember Joe
Let's
List
just be goofs.
making me laugh so hard once, pretending we ordered Rebecca was doing this whole big dinner, and we told her we ordered Domino's, and she started screaming. It was clearly a joke, but it was just a fun, like things that were just so funny. There was just funny times that I feel like now we're getting older, and now it's different, and now people are more, it's all digital now. It's like, dude, I saw the thing you did online,
Yeah.
and that's how people become friends.
Yeah, it's weird because it's
just
status.
different.
So, okay, I'm worried about those two things. Missing people here.
Yeah,
The draw, I guess I'm worried about dropping off, but I'll come for podcast visits and then like,
that'll be fine.
yeah. I'm excited about new streets and new restaurants and fucking, and then little day trips to Portugal and fucking shit like
It's
that.
gonna be the coolest thing in the world.
Yeah, and I'm excited about crowds fucking not knowing me and hating me.
Will you do Edinburgh?
I'll go back to Edinburgh for sure. It's way easier from there.
Right.
Although, yeah, I wish it wasn't in the fucking summer. It's like my one. I love the summer. I hate having to miss New York summer or London summer. To go
When
to
are you
fucking
leaving?
snow.
Are you missing this summer?
This summer I'll be gone.
Right.
I'll be traveling.
Yeah.
What would you ever? You'll visit.
I'll visit a lot.
Yeah, I got
I'll visit a lot.
guest bedroom that you can look in and go, ew, no. But let's. Meet
I'll
up for
probably
lunch.
stay at a hotel, but I love a long walk. I love because I like being nosy and like.
Are you less famous there?
Oh yeah,
That's great,
dude, for sure. I mean,
Jeez.
no one cares, but every now and then somebody will come over and go like, "Hey, man, I'm a fan,"
Yeah,
but it's not like a thing.
but I was walking with Shane in DC, and it was like it gets annoying.
No, he's massively famous.
Yeah, I'm like, ugh, come on, we're walking.
But it's also if you've gone to dinner at Rogan,
It's very
and
annoying.
It's like there's Navy SEAls everywhere and everything. It feels like we're eating in Tel Aviv.
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
is there going to be an air raid siren? You know, like in
just
the
a
middle of it, it's like.
Are we eating live human?
But I think you'll love it there. I think it'll be a lot of fun
Yeah,
and new. I think New York's changing.
New York's changing.
I think New
I
York's
think
changing.
it's still rad, but I'm having trouble, and I think
I think
everyone
it's
who's
becoming
stayed here
a
is
place
having
for
trouble
like
recognizing it.
billionaires and anxiety-ridden 24-year-olds.
When I
I got to be honest with you. I go to Florida and I want to hate it. I just have fun. People are just really fun.
they're chill.
That's the thing
Tampa,
about
especially Tampa and
yeah.
Central.
People are fun.
Yeah,
There's something about New York to
laid
me.
back.
It just feels less fun now.
It's
It just
the
feels
money
less
is a
fun.
problem. It's expensive.
You know, it feels less fun.
Yeah,
You know, but it doesn't mean it's not. It might
I think
just
it's
be
for the new kids coming in. It's like they
bet it's fun for them.
They make it what
They make it what it is.
And when I talk to the gutter punks who used to be squatters in the fucking 80s and 90s,
Yeah.
they're like, "Oh, it's all ruined." I'm like, "Oh, well, we have a different
course.
relation to it." Yeah, I think London's rules. It's fun.
Yeah.
They're way into like soccer, the actual real name for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, food and like I like the casual. You don't drink, but I like the casual pint.
yes.
Let's meet up for a beer and move
Right.
on. They're all alcoholics, but they space it out better than here.
Yeah. Well, the pub is such a cultural thing,
Yeah.
and it's a culture there. And if they've lived for a long time, we're a young country. They're not, and they've been around a long time. Their expectations are more realistic. Their country's not thriving right now. I think.
What do you mean? I mean, the way they talk about you can't say anything, people put you in jail. I'm like, that's got to be fake.
I hope that's fake. I
Because
don't.
they say that about us.
Yeah. I think what I mean by thriving is like, I think the same thing is happening kind of everywhere. Things are just really, really, really expensive, and people are feeling like they don't have a stake in it anymore. They feel
Yeah.
like they're like an observer. And I think when you do that to people, they tend to adopt pathological behavior, whether it's political radicalization or drug use or whatever. When they feel they don't have the ability to make progress,
Yeah.
that they're just outside of it,
Watching the
Watching
oligarchs do what they do.
and watching, kind of like all these giveaways to the uber rich and even to poor people that come in and just manipulate the system. But like the people that work hard don't feel like they're getting ahead. I feel like that's happening all over the place, not just there. And I feel like there's got to be a way to make it fair or more fair. Nothing's ever going to be fair.
Yeah.
There's got to be a way
So
to make it.
there's with at Edinburgh, you've never been.
Never.
Okay, but for the Fringe, I mean. But there's the free Fringe is awesome.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't let the 23-year-old not attend. They can't take a
Right.
chance on a 12-pound, $18
Right.
ticket on somebody they've never heard of.
Right.
You can take a chance on zero. But what's cool about it
Yeah.
is you have people in your stature
Yeah.
and then these 23-year-olds
Right.
that can come. The 23-year-olds laugh and give you £1, and that makes the rich people have a better time because they're
Right.
around the youth.
Right.
They have a better time, and I'll give you a 20
Right.
because
Right.
and so overall it works. But they're included and they're vital.
That's the thing. I think you got to make sure that people feel like they have a stake in what's going on. And that's a great example of it. How do you make people feel like they're not losing ground?
Yeah.
And that's not going to affect you or anyone that's visiting or even living there for a few years. I think it affects people that are living their generations and trying to raise kids. And,
Yeah.
they also just did this rule, this non-domicile rule, where
What is that?
if you earn money in Kazakhstan or Italy or somewhere else, you have to pay UK taxes on it. So a lot of people are leaving the UK for a country that is a better tax haven.
Wait, just giving up their citizenship?
Yeah.
Wow.
10,000
smart.
millionaires have left the UK.
Because like you guys just bill. That's what happened to California.
Yeah.
They're like, we'll raise money by taxing the billionaires. Like, we'll just leave.
People left. So people are leaving now. That doesn't mean that everyone's going to leave. And the big, somebody who was smart told me in situations like that, millionaires leave, billionaires stay. But the problem with billionaires is that they don't care. Their kids aren't going to school. It's like they just buy a bunch of shit and then it's empty. It's ghost buildings. Like, so you just have ghost buildings
Vancouver.
all over places. And like, but I think you'll love it. It's
What
gonna be
neighborhood
fun.
would you live in? What neighborhood would you have me live in? If you know London.
I told you that Battersea might be interesting.
Donde es? Where's Battersea?
Battersea, I don't
spell that?
know. BATE. Yeah, go there.
Oh yeah, it's way too. It's not bad actually. That's not far.
Yeah, check it out. Do image because I have a few friends that live there that kind of like it.
Oh
But-
yeah, that's right. You showed me this in
Yeah.
the parking lot.
It still has a little. It's a little grimy, but it's not.
Yeah, I want some drug dealers on the street. This is
I
what we
think-
talked about.
Yeah, I don't know. Again, I'd have to ask friends that know more than I do, but
Battersea. Save. Oops. London neighborhoods. Boom. Okay. Okay, and then let's see this. Battersea to top secret. Oops.
18 minutes. Oh. 25.
25 minutes. Yeah, damn. That's the problem. It's such a spread out town.
Yeah, but there's a million neighborhoods. I like Knightsbridge.
Knightsbridge.
Yeah. Which is just a ridiculous place.
Oh, that's right. That's way close.
Knightsbridge is sick.
I can take a bike there.
Hit image on Knightsbridge. That's Harrods.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's Harrods, yeah. That's just, wow.
See
Yeah,
that cobblestone street?
streets. Yeah.
So that to me is just sick. You know?
Yeah, that is cool. I mean, walking down that street with a coffee
But
or on your
those
way to get a
houses are
coffee with a
20 million
rolled
bucks.
cigarette.
Those houses, some of them are $20 million. Because it's vertical money laundering. It's fraud.
Will I not be able to afford London?
Well, I mean, listen, you're going to be able to rent a cool place.
Yeah, that's all I want.
But this is what I mean about like people just come in here and you go like, what?
Yeah, right. That's you.
I would love that.
Dude, me and Ed Brooke were standing in front of the Comedy Store.
Yeah.
And you were, I think, supposed to be there that night. It was when
Yeah.
Marcella was on.
Okay.
And a Rolls Royce pulled in front.
Yeah.
And he was like, nice. Fucking Tim's here.
Yeah.
Black lady.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
It's Miss Pat.
And he's like, yeah, it's one or the other.
People, what about Marylebone?
I've heard of that.
What about Marylebone? That's where I think you belong. Marylebone. I just like saying it. Marylebone.
Bone.
Yeah, baby.
Okay. It's in West.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty normal looking. So people don't take pictures of actual shit. Look at this fucking loser.
That's your friend. Is there any part of you, let me ask you another interesting question. Is there any part of you that thinks you go there, you live there for a month and go, absolutely not? Because I'm always wondering
Yeah.
if in the back of your mind, that's an option. Or are
I'm
you
not going to beat myself up if I hate it. Not in a
Okay.
month.
Not in a month.
It's going to definitely be over a year. And
You'll
probably
make it a
2.
year.
Probably 2.
2?
Yeah, I mean, let's say I'll hop around looking for neighborhoods, and then I find a place like, all right, now at least a 1-year rent, and I'm too
Right.
Jewish to leave a rent
I'm always
early.
wondering if there's any part of you that would go and in a month go, you know what? It's just not what I thought.
So you know what'll stop me from doing that?
Yeah.
Embarrassment.
Right.
So I left my old place on 12th, the backyard. I don't know if you ever went there.
Of course I did.
And
We had the parties there.
yeah, it was
great.
great. So Duncan was coming.
Yeah.
And he was coming he goes, well, I just rented an Airbnb. He's moving to New York. And I was like, drop that.
Right.
Come stay at my place. I'm leaving.
Right.
He goes, sweet, with his old girlfriend. And I gave him the keys, called an Uber. I said, enjoy, stay here as long as you want.
Right.
Leave the keys inside or drop
Yeah.
off at the I forget what I said. And then I left and I got to Myanmar. The second night, I was like, this was a huge mistake. I've got to go home. And I'm like, how will I be able to face Duncan and say what a quitter I was with this lofty? He was like, I'm so proud of you. This is so cool. And I'm like, I loved it. Right. And if I go back, all that, this is so cool, go away. So I'm like, well, I have to go live in hiding. Maybe I'll go to upstate New York and just rent an Airbnb and act like I'm in Southeast Asia for like 2 months.
Yeah, I wonder. I
embarrassment. That's the
didn't
only
even
thing.
think about that. And by the way, I don't think you'll hate it. I'm just always wondering if in the back of your mind, because here's the thing. Here's what's interesting about London, right?
Yeah.
I find it
That's
fascinating.
not bad. 30-minute walk to Top Secret. Yeah.
I think it's fascinating, interesting, amazing. All the things about it are great. The communities are interesting. I got to be honest with you. It's a black box to me in terms of if I'd like living there. I don't know.
Right.
I have
Because there's
no
a difference
idea.
when people come to New York. You're vacationing. Try living here 2 weeks in Austin too.
Yeah.
When you get to your 8th day in Austin, which I've done, you're like,
8?
oh, this is the same people in the same green rooms, the same fucking restaurants, the same fucking. I'm like, this is. I would need to have a different
To
vibe
me,
to live
I always
here.
go like this. I always go.
4 days even.
There's a part of me that thinks I would love it. There's a part of me that thinks,
Talking about London or Austin?
no, London.
London, okay.
Austin.
Yeah.
Ari.
Okay. I'm sorry.
There's a part of me that thinks
Thinks
I'd
you would
love
love it, yeah.
There's a part of me that worries I'm a little bit of an American. And even though I don't want to admit it, there's a part of me that thinks I'm a little bit of an American.
And that would make you not like it, or that make people look at you weird?
No, not people looking at me weird. I just might be too used to America. And to reprogram myself
Too late
now
for that. Yeah.
at 40,
Yeah.
I don't know.
You're an outside dog.
Yeah,
Can't just suddenly be inside.
my friends are crazy people.
There?
Here,
Oh, right. Yeah.
everyone we know. I know people that are worth hundreds of millions of dollars and people that have no money, and all of them are crazy.
You ever go to like a place with a friend, a comedian friend, or
Yeah.
a regular friend, and you're like, this fucking idiot is going, and they're like, hey, dude, there's kids around. Where the fuck?
I'm just wondering, do I go there and do I realize, oh, I'm an uncivilized, boorish animal who lives in a circus, and now I'm like completely like in a place where
Even the Johnny Rottens of London, the current
Yeah,
version
are-
of that, is still has a class that we
Oh
that-
my
that, like
God.
different than us, not
Of
better or worse, but
course.
just different. They'd be like, well, I've never did
I
that.
just wonder about now. By the way, or I live there and I go, oh my God, I'm happy and I'm never coming back. I'm actually happier here. I
Show wolf.
feel better here. That's other things.
Yeah,
but I mean,
right.
she's I love Michelle, but she has a life.
Yeah, right.
There. I just wonder if I'm too American to live in a non-American place. Here's what I like about America, okay? I like the idea that everything, whether it is or not, seems possible.
It seems possible.
It seems possible.
My aunt said, she was big, like, conservative, rah-rah. She's like, there's still the only country in the world you could show up with $10 in your pocket and become a millionaire.
She's
And
right.
I hadn't heard that
By
since
the way,
I was a kid.
she's absolutely correct.
That's retarded.
I know, but I respect
You
her.
will die in a day.
I know, but people need to die in a day.
That's a different
How
thing.
long? How
Yeah, sure,
long
let's
should
hunt
you
the
die?
kids. Let's hunt the
Die
kids.
in a day. No. Your aunt is a great woman, and she's absolutely right. But now listen,
Yeah.
she's not right for everyone.
Dude, it's so funny. She's the aunt that, like, whenever I do conservative stuff,
Yeah.
she'll call, I saw you on Tucker. That was
Yeah,
great.
yeah. Nothing. Here's my issue with London. Nothing seems possible.
Wow.
It seems impossible to get too
Wow.
noticed in the entertainment business. It doesn't seem like you're going to make a shitload of money.
No, you make less money.
No, it seems like you're not. It's very
London's
hard.
a major tour stop for me in
Like, it's
international.
funny. I get a kick out of the idea. I'm going to promote my comedy special on Megyn Kelly.
Yeah.
I'm going to drive to Granite,
was
drive, beautiful home. I sit there and like, I grew up watching her on TV, and now I just promote my special there because I have a show on the internet where I talk shit, and she has a show, and and why not? Why not?
Yeah.
Nothing in that country seems possible.
Wow.
Unless you're a lord or you know someone or you know the right people. It seems very, 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 very.
Even the Edinburgh, even the way to get ahead is to
Yeah.
win an award there. It still seemed like
Reviews.
only the cool kids
Why-
are invited to
Why
it.
do I care what your review of me
Yeah.
is?
But the reviewer's like, well, you're a popular, you're
They
in.
have this archaic
If you're not
system.
in, it doesn't matter.
They have an archaic system based on theater.
Yeah.
I go, what are you talking about? None of them are on the internet. They've rarely heard of it.
They're starting.
They're starting. Oh, they're starting now, Ari? 2025? Congrats. My main issue with it, because now after I built it up, let's tear it down. Let's do it. Let's do a good episode. Go up, go down.
Yeah.
My main issue with it is that it doesn't, I love Piers Morgan, though.
Okay.
I just think I like him. I like his thing. I don't know what it is.
It gets fighty. It's fun.
People blame him for Diana's death. It's like, listen, does everything have to be a problem?
She'd be dead anyway.
Agreed. I think there's I don't know if I could get into it because I think it's about accepting where you are.
And that's not you at all. You've never been that.
That's not me.
You were a fucking salesman in Long Island,
Yeah.
and now you're a fucking debutante.
I wouldn't say that, but now I'm pushing into corners of the world that people are not welcoming me in, and yet I'm still pushing because I've modeled my life after a genre of movies in the 80s where homeless people would go to country clubs. and
You're long form trading places.
Yeah, and that's kind of this shit to me. I don't like a game you can't play.
Yeah.
I don't like a game you can't play. London feels like a game you cannot play.
Interesting. So that might be okay for me because I don't want to play the game. I'm not comfortable, and I've gotten ahead, but I hate playing it.
Yes,
and I
but
just
you know
wish
what?
they'd assign me a position.
Interesting. You may find that you're more of an American than you think.
Yeah, probably. I'll know what I now miss about being an American when I'm there.
You
and
might
I'll know
find
what
you're more of an American than you think.
Yeah, you're right.
You know?
Uh-huh.
You might get there and go, oh, so this is interesting. I like it, and I find it interesting, but there's a weird class snobbery weirdness that I just can't fully, or you might find none of that and find that it's all overstated, and maybe the comedy community is great, but I think there's a lot of, it seems it's very regimented over there.
I'm into stand-up, drug use,
These talk shows
music.
that they do.
Yeah.
They're
Oh,
all
yeah, the
sitting there on
panel shows.
The panel, and that you sit there on the panel show.
I'll get your quip in.
I gotta be
A
honest.
quid for your quip? Oh, that's a good show. We should sell that to the UK.
Yeah.
A quid for your quip.
A quid for your
And
quip.
it's just a panel show. Just we're copying all the other panel shows. That's the pitch.
I just think there is a possibility that you go there and you go, it's a little antiquated. They're still on television. They're still doing television. They're still getting a reviewer to write a review of a one-man show that they wrote about getting misgendered at a fruit stand.
Yeah.
They're still doing things that we haven't done in 15 years.
You ever see Kraftwerk playing
Remember-
their first gig in Germany?
What's it called?
Kraftwerk. They were like early electronica.
Okay.
And they're playing this. Berlin is a super like cutting edge, but they
course.
hadn't heard it before. No one's heard it before. And
Lot
they're
of
just
shit
like
fetishes.
and they're just like sitting on the floor, like going like this. You're like,
Yeah.
that's not the dance it's gonna be
No.
settled on.
Right.
But they're just like, how do you analyze this?
Right.
I'm hoping that's what I do for London. in the
Remember
comedy
Best
scene.
Week Ever?
Mm-hmm.
When
It's
was
Big
that?
Fitzsimmons thing.
2012?
Best week.
When they
Was
brought it
that
back?
late? Oh yeah, they brought it back. Yeah, right around 2012, 2010.
When's it? Do you know what I mean? Like, it just feels weirdly archaic. Panel shows and
Do your own thing.
reviews and
Yeah.
festivals. I think it'd be interesting. I want to hear from you because you might go, hey, you're totally wrong.
I might hate it. I'm excited to get left out of political conversations. I've told everyone in my life, right, left, and center, that I don't care, and you're boring me, and it's actually offensive to bring it up when I keep telling you I don't care.
Right.
And they keep doing it. I'm hoping they go, I'm like, how does Parliament work? And they go, we're not catching you up.
I
We'll
don't
just
think
leave you
it'll
out."
be that. I think it'll be like, wait, what? Like, I think you'll start to go like, wait, we're supposed to go on Mock the Week? You know what I mean? Like,
That is just, I love the 90s.
yeah, I think you'll go like, oh, this is comedy in 2010.
Right. Oh,
think
I
you go,
remember this.
Yeah, I think you'll go, oh, yeah, this is comedy in 2010. Like, you audition for a festival, you do a show that people write about. You have to, the booker's got to like you, the people have to like you.
I mean, maybe it'll be like a reminiscing feel.
It could be reminiscent. It could be great. It might be. And by the way, maybe I'm observing it from an outsider. I don't know. I don't know.
You ever
anything.
see a comic friend get a sitcom and you're like, what are you doing? It's like, I'm on this sitcom. I'm like, oh, good for you, man. That sounds fun.
Yeah.
But like, I almost like pity them. But like, If you've wanted that,
I
congrats.
don't know how it all looks. From the outside, it looks to me archaic.
Yeah.
Going to Edinburgh and going, I'm doing a show, and if I get 4 stars in The Guardian,
Edinburgh's dying
Or
over
the
the last since COVID.
Scotsman.
It's dying.
and then I get to go tour, and I don't make a ton of money touring, and then I'm not online.
I make less in London than I make in Kansas City.
Right. So that you go, and I'm not online really because, like, I don't know. So then you go, what is it? And the only famous people seem to be KSI and the Sidemen and Jimmy Carr and Michael McIntyre, and they're brilliant comedians and they're great.
Yeah.
But like,
Adam Rowe.
And I just feel
They're the
like
new classes. Adam Rowe and Finn Taylor. They're the
Adam
new
Rowe
class.
is great. I want to do that show. But I'm just wondering, I could be fully wrong, and I'd love to go there and have you go, you're actually completely wrong, or have you go, it's split the difference, you're half right, or have
You're
you
right.
go,
Sometimes you're wrong.
actually,
Yeah.
you are a little right. It's a little like stepping back in time.
Well, so like when I went to LA,
We're
like,
still the cutting
yeah,
edge of all things in that space.
Yeah. LA versus New York, the comedy scenes, and was like,
Yeah.
well, it can't just be LA. It's LA versus New York, and then Comedy Store.
Yeah.
Versus LA and New York.
Right.
Because that was a different thing than LA.
For sure.
So if you go to so it might be that in London too. I'm like, oh, I got to find my crew.
You might want to find the crew.
Yeah.
Every time I go there and I talk to people there, I get the idea that they are,
I think they go up at the end of their words. Yeah.
they're in a very interesting place. And I recognize it as very similar to what comedy felt like in 2012 in New York. You wanted to get on a panel show.
Yeah. Late night.
You wanted to get a good review. You cared what the press wrote. They were like a real thing. You wanted like a celebrity to co-sign you on television. You're trying to do a book.
Yeah. Right now in New York, it's like, what's your new interesting idea?
Yeah.
Like when you get like a Story Wars or
Yeah,
garbage, like,
right.
hey, let's go outside the box. And that's like, oh, cool.
Yeah. I think that it's very much a formulaic thing over there.
Yeah, fit in. And that's how LA used to be.
Yeah.
It's
I think
this
that's
meets
what it is.
this. That was every
That's
pitch.
what it
It's
seems
this
like to
meets
me. It
this.
seems like there's certain venues and certain theaters and certain tracks to be on and certain people. And
I'm excited to find out.
I'm excited for you to find out.
Yeah.
I'm really excited.
Buddy,
Thank you.
once again,
Watch the special, please. When does this come out? Who knows?
as soon as possible. I got a couple.
Tuesday, April 15th.
No, it's out.
It's on Netflix.
Tuesday. That's already.
It's tomorrow, but whatever. I'm just saying, if it comes
it's out
in a
now.
week,
What's it
who
called?
cares?
Yeah.
Well, I'm Your Mother. It's on Netflix.
I'm Your Mother.
Go watch it.
I put a drop in early in the episode, so don't worry about that.
Oh, great.
Yeah. But that's exciting. They're finally, well, not finally, I guess the other time too, but they're like,
It's
it's just like
third
there's a
one.
few people that I'm sure you've heard this before who said, okay, if you're not going to take me, I'll do my own thing.
Yeah.
And then you do the own thing so well that
Yeah.
they're like, actually, can you please come here? And then you go, okay, yeah.
I didn't do it well enough for London. That's my final phase. Being accepted by British aristocracy.
You're like,
Just a bunch of red-faced people. My people.
yeah, shut the blinds.
And I'm
It's too
Irish, but
sunny in
I'm
here.
willing to kind of side with the crown.
Like a real Dubliner.
Well, yeah, it's like, hey, you never built a building over 3 stories. I'm going to go with the crown.
I like it. Yeah. They have this thing on Ireland that it's
Yeah.
like it's all rolling countryside and hillbillies and rednecks.
Yeah.
And then they're like, we have a tech sector. Like
Yeah,
it's
but
just
you
a
know, do
stereotype.
they, like we talked about
Do
that on my
they,
show the
though?
other day. Google, if you want, just as our final,
Just pull the
as our final thing, Google Ireland. And I'm going to show you their tech sector. Okay. Hit image. Google Ireland. Ireland, Google. Literally write Google after. Now, hold on. There is a picture here, which I don't know if it's here right now, but there was on my show. A like old landscaper,
Yeah.
and he's just this old Irish guy, like just Google headquarters maybe. And like he's just like doing, and he's like doing the, just maybe hit the Google headquarters, go to the right, hit that Google,
Yeah.
and see what else comes up, because there was just a photo of this old guy, and it's like there's no decisions being made in Ireland. There's not one
Well,
important decision at Google being made in Ireland. No way.
They're just there taking it.
Zero way. Zero chance. They're like, hey, so what does Malachi think about this? Hey, does Rory have any thoughts?
That's pretty much who's running it.
There it is. All right. Well, thank you.
Yeah, buddy.
I
Everyone
appreciate
watch
it.
that. What's it called again?
I'm Your Mother.
I'm Your Mother.
Netflix.
Is that part from a bit or just on your
Yes.
own? Okay.
Yeah.
It's fun to do a title of like, what
Yeah.
one line for my special? do
One
use
line.
or
I
do
wanted something else. They wouldn't let me do it.
They wouldn't let you?
My son's pussy.
Why wouldn't they let you?
I don't know.
I love when a company, it's the same thing we're talking about Haight-Ashbury.
Yeah,
in
I'm
London.
thankful they put me on the thing.
It goes
I don't
from
wanna complain.
Norm
But
McDonald
yeah.
going, can I call it Hitler's dog? And they go, yeah. They go, really? And they go, buddy,
Right.
we're here for the artist. You
Right.
can do whatever you want. We're supporting you.
Right.
You're like, oh, nice. I love Netflix.
Yeah.
You want to keep it under 70 or we'll make sure no one will watch it.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks, buddy.
I appreciate it.
Yeah. Well, everybody, that's the episode. I hope you enjoyed it. I know I did. Tim's always he's so consistently good on podcasts. He's always ready to fucking go for it. And he has outsider ideas that are like, no one even thinks about the stuff he's thinking about. It's pretty interesting. Go check out his special, I'm Your Mother, on Netflix right now. I'd say leave a comment, but Netflix does not allow comments to be made. Myself, again, get tickets at arishaffir.com for Charlestown, West Virginia, July 12th and June 18th in Anchorage, Alaska. Those are my last dates until 2027. Let's read a couple postcards before we go. People are sending these to You Be Trippin, care of Ari Shaffir, 151 First Avenue, number 49, New York, 10003. Also, I got to tell you, by the way, subscribe wherever you listen. Today's episode was produced by Your Mom's House Network. It was edited by Alan Caffey, expertly as always. By the way, Alan, if you're listening to this, that thing you did in the Dragos episode where some fucking gypsies doing gang signs behind, you zoom in, that's the kind of shit I'm talking about. I love it. I love that. Zooming in on fucking Andrew Schultz's butt when he was farting. Yeah, that makes it better than just fucking watching it. Good job, guys. That YMH crew is fucking rad. And by the way, they helped with the storytelling show, helped produce it. The End. And what a great team to work with from the top to the bottom. Any comic listening, if you're looking to like actually produce a show, YMH is your jam, you guys. Also, I'd like to give, let's read some postcards, but I'd also like to give my tip of the week, my recommendation of the week. I'm going to keep doing these. I fell off for a little bit. Something great that I see that I'd like you guys to know about. This week, Valerie June at Town Hall. God damn, she's good. What a fucking, I've listened to her albums. One in particular, the one with just all white with the long hair. She's wild. She's barely holding on to reality. She's legitimately speaking a different language than we are. Like, crazy town. But she holds it together just to bring in these, like, fucking beautiful songs. Rocks hard. The whole setup was great. Anyway, anybody can see Valerie June on tour. Fucking go see her. She's, listen, I know what I am. And I get too connected to fucking the arts. But I was bawling like 4 times. Like shake bawling. Just goddamn a great fucking show. I would definitely see her again. Okay, let's read one. Where the fuck is this from? Do you see that? I see a fucking stamp. The fuck does that say? Let's see what it says. Oh, wait, it's right here. Frank Gehry, the Foundation Louis Vuitton is a perspective de Suisse Hardin. Maybe it's France. Hi, Ari. Bonjour from France. I should have just read the first line. About 15 years ago, I left the U.S. For the first time. Your Skeptic Tank episode with Rolf. 2 F's, he only has 1. Is that right? You misspelled it. I was right. Was one of the most informative, inspirational pods to me at that time. Thanks, man. Yeah, that Rolf one we did in the park, 4+ hours in the park at the Skeptic Tank. Just sat there and talked about travel. Me and Rolf, when we talk about travel, We just keep going back and forth and hitting each other with new ideas. Rolf, you got to come back before I'm gone. So maybe that time. Since then, I've made a point to get lost for as long as possible. Every year, visiting Paris is the 27th entry into my ever-growing net of exploration. Well written. Thank you. Here's what I do, by the way. 2 new countries every year. 2 new countries every year. If you listen to the Paul Morrissey episode, by the way, I hope you guys understand at this point. The podcast you know about, Tim Dillon notwithstanding right now, the guests you know about are not going to be the most interesting stories. Giulio Gallerati, Mike Cannon even, Rolf Potts, Zane Jareski, the ones you don't know about. Trust me, I'd bury them if they weren't good episodes. Except Adrian Appalucci. That was a terrible episode. I was Portugal. It was good. What'd you do? How are the people? Fine. Thank you for your positive service, good sir. More soon. I'll be in Armenia and Georgia this summer. Love, Tara Ann. Well, Tara, let me make one comment. Your handwriting is that of a man. You have terrible handwriting. I can generally tell a woman's handwriting. I was surprised that it said Tara Ann at the bottom because I was positive this was a man sending this. I do 2 new countries every year, with the exception of the COVID year. I only got 1 country. It was Ecuador, but all of November and December, I was there. And then into the next year. But I got 2 countries that next year also. Every other year, minimum 2, average probably 2.5 to 3. And it makes me go places. It makes me go like, oh shit, I only got 1 country. It's December. I have 9 days off from doing gigs. I got to run somewhere. So in those instances, I've hit Dominican Republic for 8 days. I've hit Guatemala for 12 days. I hit French Polynesia for like 4 days. People are like, you went to French Polynesia for 4 days? I'm like, I had to cross something off my list. I did New Year's Eve there. Did the Ecuadorian tradition of that. I'll cover that in the Ecuador episode. I also got to get some more people to interview me. Sal, come in. One more. Sent this to 151 First Avenue, number 49, New York, New York, 10003. Mount Manaslu, Nepal. Whoa. I'm in the process of redoing this. The Patreon is done, everybody. I've got all the submissions. We're done with submissions. Going to narrow them down for the trip around the world. Ari Shaffir is sending someone on a trip around the world-ish. 8 to 12 months, depending on how much you spend. And I'm narrowing down the list. We've got about 20 qualified candidates, and I'm going to narrow it down from that. The patrons from the You Be Trippin Patreon got it together. We raised that money, and we're sending someone around. I don't know who else does it, besides the Mr. Beast type people. But for the people who are in a regular, legitimately, I looked it up, average economic place for their age, slightly below average, to be honest. I give up a lot of money. I'm fine with it. But I own my own car. Hey, Ari, big fan. If you want a long trek with Tibetan Buddhism and great vibes, Sum Valley Manaslu trek is the way to go. I had a blast. I used Nepal Eco Adventure Guide Company. Love from Antonio from Australia in Nepal. Damn, bro. Look at these Nepalese stamps. Look at these Nepalese fucking stamps. Pretty fucking cool. And that's the address you can send it to. 151 First Avenue, number 49, New York, New York, 10003. Pretty fucking badass. Well, everybody, that's the episode. Next week, Fearless and Far is coming in. Mike Corey. And a really, really great one about the dark continent of Africa. Went to the Congo. I mean, I'm telling you guys, subscribe and also hit the reminder button. There's a reminder button on YouTube. That's a great episode. And it's coming next week. And I got to him legitimately from your suggestions on YouTube comments. And man, it worked out. Did the wildest fucking stuff. I mean, we're talking about hunting alligators for food. And trade and just like warlords and I like this podcast. There's a difference between the H. Foley was like, I went to Greece. I can't believe it. I rented a car, which is great. And these guys that go to places where like, I would never go. That's crazy. It's crazy. You could die and you should have died. And also, not fun, but also hella fun. So tune in next week to Mike Corey. Fearless and Far is his YouTube stuff. And check out Tim Dillon's special, I'm Your Mother, on Netflix. Until next week, everybody. Cheerio from merry old England.